So, whew, I was trying to talk with this Tyrannosaur over here, but there's really no other way I could say this, but Jurassic World Dominion sucked. I'm sorry, it was horrible. It was, I mean, if you didn't believe in member berries, you believe, I would say you have to believe in them now after watching this movie. And also, for as mixed as mixed as the reactions were for Jurassic Park 3 and how people didn't really care for it, it left the island. Well, you came back to the island, but it left the whole plot of like Jurassic Park and dinosaurs, with people that don't intend for anything to go bad, I guess, in a sense you would say, because Jurassic Park had the park and everything happening and showing people dinosaurs. Part 2 was them going to like capture some dinosaurs and study them, so people kind of knew what they were doing. And then in the third one, Dr. Grant goes back to the park to save some guy's son. Like, come on, it's like, it was pretty cheesy, but it was still a good movie. It was still fun. The Spinosaurus was cool, but compared to Dominion, it really is it gets a gold star. Like, for real. Jurassic World Dominion, in my opinion, took from every Jurassic Park movie, including Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, because it's pretty much Fallen Kingdom 2.0, and tried to shove it into a story that made no sense and had nothing to do with, Jurassic Park. I mean, I'm sorry, but locusts are pretty stupid. I mean, it was a very weird religious kind of shit thing going on that they had. Like, come on, biosyn, the whole swarm of locusts. I mean, resurrection after death. I mean, it was a lot. And so, a Dominion starts off with these random news shots of like, all the 100 or so dinosaurs that got loose from the United Kingdom because of that clone chick that, okay, she's not even a clone, but I don't even understand why they had to bring that aspect in. I don't really remember Fallen Kingdom. The only reason I was excited for Dominion was for Jeff Goldblum. Like, that was the only reason. And even his parts in the movie were probably the best parts, but also the most outlandish and the most like, this is bullshit, scenes. But so Dominion starts off with, those dinosaurs getting out, and the world is like overrun, but it's not, but it is, but it isn't, but there's like a state of emergency, but there's none. Like, people are like cohabitating with dinosaurs and like watching them all awestruck, like walking around, and like fucking pterodactyls are making nests in skyscrapers, like, and they're just chilling, not picking up, killing people, I guess. I mean, it's just ridiculous. And I wish they would have shown that world. Like, that's what I really thought this movie was going to be about. I really thought it was going to be like Jurassic Park, or the Lost World Jurassic Park, the Lost World Jurassic Park 2. I thought it was going to be like that, where they're in the city fighting all these dinosaurs, trying to kill or capture all these dinosaurs. But, maybe Blue would have been like the main villain because she's the smartest or whatever. Like, there could have been a lot of different ways they could have went about making a dominion over humanity of dinosaurs movie, which it wasn't. It just wasn't. But so the world is overrun, but it's not. People care, but they don't. And the military, I guess, is just on standby. Like, the military is like, well, if we gotta shoot them down, we'll just shoot them down, because it's not like we're trying to nuke anything. But I mean, that's not that that's a bad thing, But so the movie then kicks off with, you find out that Owen and Claire are taking care of Maisie, the clone, and she's just, having those angsty female thoughts, or those angsty teen female thoughts of like, I don't want to be here, and you're just holding me here. I don't want to be here, and I'm a woman, and I've been through some shit, and I'm not gonna be here. And then she, of course, like, just sneaks away. When the show's gonna sneak away, she just runs away real quick to go like, I don't know, stare at the city. And stare at like construction workers, because they don't really explain what she does. And then she gets kidnapped. She gets kidnapped by Biosyn and some like smugglers and shit. And Owen and Claire are like, oh no, we gotta go save her. And they subsequently also find out that Blue had a baby, because Blue, and again, Blue isn't even in this movie. Like, Blue isn't even a part of Dominion, which I thought was funny. And that her child is. I was like, that's cute. That's pretty funny marketing right there. New baby Yoda. But people don't care about dinosaurs to the point where they're gonna buy like little dinosaur pet stuffed, plushies, because it's not Yoda. It's not something that's as interesting as that. But pretty much, then it shoots over to Claire and Dr. Alan Grant, which are the member berries. You remember them? And like, of course, it's like exactly like Jurassic Park, the exact same way they meet, minus Hammond, you know, just going to his archaeological dig, blah, 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 life, and then leave. I mean, instead of John Hammond, now it's Claire. I mean, now it's, what's her name? Ellie. And it's Lord Dern. You know, it's just ridiculous because they couldn't have done anything better. They used this stupid locust plot, and like she sees, or she goes and finds the remnants of these locusts, and she's just like, this crazy, they're giant grasshoppers anyway. It's got to be Cretaceous DNA, and I know only one man that can help me, Dr. Alan Grant. And it's just like, God damn it. And then, of course, her family fell apart or whatever, because she had a family in Jurassic Park 3, you know, because Alan was all like, he pretty much went crazy letting people know, like, hey, fucking dinosaurs are real. Everyone gave him shit, which is, I think, why a lot of people didn't like the movie. And then it turned around that you know, he needed help, and Ellie had to, like, save him, and the military ended up coming in, and it's like, well, do they believe him, or do they not? Is he still mocked? Like, where exactly is he at? Because he's at the exact same spot we found him in Jurassic Park 1. So she comes up to him and she's like, you know, we gotta find all this shit, you know, and he's like in love with her still, so he's like, oh, your family's falling apart? Girl, I'm gonna join you. And it's just ridiculous. It's like, why? Like, it's just like, remember, no force on earth or heaven could get me on that island. So it's like, I can understand if he doesn't want to deal with dinosaurs and the fact that dinosaurs are roaming around. He's like, I don't give a fuck. I don't want to deal with these dinosaurs. Like, I just don't want to help you. Like, that would have been cool. And then he has to, like, think about it or some shit, or get attacked by a dinosaur. And then he's like, all right, I'm gonna help you guys because I don't want to die. It would have made at least a bit more sense. So then she's like, all right, I got this letter, and we're going to go to this new biosyn company because I got invited by this guy who's writing a book and doing lectures there, Ian Malcolm. Malcolm, yes, it's true that we will have, or they will be, dominion over animals. But at the same time, the military's here, and at the same time, we have all these facilities, so the dinosaurs might not be that much of a threat to society and to people. I love Jeff Goldblum, but his character is so over the top. Like, I know he didn't, I mean, he had his own film, right? He was the main character in The Lost World, and he wasn't, and then Sam Neill was the main character in the, you know, Jurassic Park 3. So I feel like it would have been cool if maybe they all just would have been attacked by something and had to all do something instead of it just being Jeff Goldblum. But anyway, Jeff Goldblum pretty much is like he pretty much is like the super spy and ends up helping them break into biosyn. And oh yeah, the Dotson guy from the beginning of Jurassic Park, I didn't realize that till like mid-movie. And I'm like, oh, we had a packed theater, you know, so I'm like, we're like talking to some people in the theater, like and people are laughing and just criticizing this movie as it's going on because it's so ridiculous. And you know, they go to Jeff Goldblum's Ian Malcolm is able to get them into biosyn, and pretty much they find out about the locusts. Like, everything just kind of happens, right? Maisie gets kidnapped. She gets taken to some like random smuggling dinosaur place in Italy, which huge question marks. That's gonna be the next movie. If they make another movie, it's got to be Jurassic World Dominion, stories of the world, and then have it start in Italy. Of like, how the fuck did a dino den start? Like, it just doesn't make any sense. Like, how are they done? How did they capture them? Like, for real though? Like, I mean, they never thought they would escape, and then when they do escape, they're never seen again. Like, all those dinosaurs never seen again. And I mean, I'm not even gonna talk about Claire outrunning the Velociraptor because that shit was dumb. She should have died. And if she would have died, maybe the movie, if anybody would have died, it would have had a better impact on the movie. But then, so of course, smuggling things going on. Some strong female black character notices that they're not only they captured a dinosaur, all right, whatever, but they captured a little girl. Ooh, you don't be fucking around with kidnaps. Come on now, if you see any little kid being kidnapped, I don't care if you're a smuggler, criminal, or a billionaire, you better help. You better try to help that person or call 911. Like, you don't just be like, oh, look at that, they're kidnapping kids too. Nice. Human trafficking. 5 stars. Dinosaur trafficking. I mean, they're everywhere. Like, it's like, what the fuck? So that never goes anywhere. And then they end up escaping with the black chick, and they go. And then, as they're flying, they get attacked by that's that trailer part where they get attacked by the giant pterodactyl and shit, and they inject her seed out, and because, you know, Owen's like, I know, Chris Pratt's like, even though I'm the super guy, and I can't have 2 women crashing a plane, I'll let, you know, because that would be horrible, I'll have you skyrocket out of here, you know, eject your seat out of here, and then they totally redo Jurassic Park 3. Because y'all remember Jurassic Park 3 when he's got the parachute, and then he's getting attacked by shit, and then later on he's got the other parachute, and he's trying to save him, and he's getting attacked by shit. It's the same, you know, I mean, oh my gosh, you know, the parachute hanging there with the dead body, and then they find her, and I mean, oh god, I don't even know why when they crash, it's ridiculous how, you know, they crash the plane, and not only are they like fine, they're like they're no wounds, but you know, they have that whole fight with the dinosaur there in the ice, and they don't even, it's like frozen water, and they're not, and that dinosaur is weak as shit too, I guess, because it couldn't take them out. Like, it's just like, they're everywhere, but they're not. They're at the facility, and like there's a dinosaur chilling on top. Like there's no guards up there that like, one, saw the plane crash, two, are like there's whatever. And then when Claire lands in her parachute, that's when that big bird shows up with the big talons, and everyone's like, oh no, it's a bird. It's a chicken monster. It's a chicken dinosaur. That scene was ridiculous. I like how everyone's like, oh my god, the scene was so tense. The scene was so tense. I was tense because I really thought she was going to be in danger. I really thought it was going to pick her ass up, because I remember in the trailer it's like roaring at her head. So I knew that was coming up. I knew when she got in the water, I was like, okay, it's going to either pull her out of the water or she's gonna swim away and like end up like sinking lower to where it can't get her. But I mean, fuck man, the bird could have just looked and stepped and she would have died. Like like, just saying. And it would have been so much better if it like took her to like its little chicken younglings, which probably would have been a bunch of like giant birds, and then she had to like fight them with sticks and shit. Like, that would have been cool. You know, like come over like as giant chicks and they're like pecking at her, and she's like trying to like fight them off. Like, obviously she could. So when the plane crashes and they end up doing that whole ridiculous swap where she's like, I'm gonna go find them, and then they're like, I'm gonna go find her, because, you know, they ejector seated her out. That whole scene with the Dilophosaurs and shit, with the little fans, and how he just choked it out. I'm sorry, but I will never forgive you, Universal. I will never forgive you for that, because everyone and their mom has made jokes about it, that even a 5, 4-year-old, 3-year-old would be like, that's bullshit. I can register that could never happen. Right, Miggy? Like, you just like, grrr, like, it was so cheesy. And at that point, I was like, this movie's for kids. Like, it's very obvious. Like, not that many people have died. Barely anybody died in the whole Italy scene. I mean, I guess the main guy that kidnapped Maisie died. But yeah, he kidnapped a kid. He deserves to die. So, of course, we all knew he was going to die. But it's like there could have been more human eating. Like, you could tell this movie was trying to center itself for kids, or at least center itself for like young teens or whatever. But it's like, you know, Jurassic Park has been around for like 20, 30 years. Like, you know, like a 30-year franchise, you're literally just shitting all over because you want to appease like the new generation who really could give less of a shit of the last Jurassic World movie. So I just don't understand how they wouldn't try harder to make this movie better than it is. Like, it's just so sad. It's so depressing. But, you know, that's Hollywood now. They just churn it out. Don't get excited. Just don't pay attention to the product. Just get excited for the next product, because it's on its way. It's on its way. You know, but so after that whole scene of just, you know, her about to be attacked and then him just choking it out, I mean, they pretty much go and just save the day, you know, shut down the facility. Alan and Ellie set fire to, or they find out about the locust, and they're gonna go like, you know, release the data and everything. And then pretty much the Dotson guy, the evil Steve Jobs new Jurassic World villain guy, sets them on fire. And then they're so evolved that the flames just turn them into firefly crickets, and they burst out of the vent and go like spreading havoc on the valley. And you're just kind of like, there's no fucking way. There's no way. I'm sorry. There's no way. There's no way. How? I was just like, man. And I wish it was from I wish it was through the perspective of the crickets, so that way they could just be like, I'm on fire, fuck, I'm so strong, I'm shooting a fly and burn everything. I have some information that I did not realize, you know. I did not realize that Omar Sy played Barry back in Jurassic World, you know? I did not know this. I did not. So when I saw him and they were like, oh, we need to go get the CIA agent to help us in Italy, I was like, wait, you got Lupin? And then I was like, oh no, he was in Jurassic World. So it makes sense why he's here. But there's just so much diversity in this movie. So many people of color saved everybody else. It was just amazing. Between the pilot chick saving Owen out of the water and the Jerome guy helping out everybody in the end, to Omar Sy trapping a velociraptor like a boss. It was like, what the fuck? But okay, all right. I just wanted to give that intel. I don't want to be called racist or anything, but I'm out. This information is dangerous. Yeah, and then I called it, but I didn't think it was gonna be this dumb. But Alan Grant finally gets to do the hand thing. He does the hand thing to Beta, the baby raptor that the clones name and clones. But we'll get to the clone in a minute. But he does the hand up to Beta, and then they do the little Illuminati triangle to calm him down, and then they capture him. And I was just like, that was so dumb. And I know that Alan Grant's supposed to be like, I just want to not be attacked by velociraptors anymore. At least he didn't get attacked by anything but fucking crickets. He literally didn't get. And then at the end they had the dinosaur fight, but we're not there yet. So of course then you have the clone, which wasn't a clone. So it turns out that Maisie's mom was like super special DNA wise, and she was able to self-produce herself. Like she gave birth to herself, and and fixed her DNA because science, and the power of women and the power of love and sacrifice and dinosaurs apparently. And so the Asian guy from Jurassic World and Fallen Kingdom, who's evil but not evil. He's a good guy now, but he has he has cool hair, so he's a good guy now, because villains good guys usually look cool. So he has cool Mr. Fantastic hair, super scientist guy hair, and he pretty much tells Maisie look, we need your DNA just to help the world. I don't know why Biosyn guy is trying to take over the crops and kill the world of crops, because there's these dinosaurs running around, and maybe he can control the world with the world's food supply. But I'm trying to save the world, and even though I helped engineer these crickets, I want to save them, but I need your DNA. So we had to kidnap you to get you and the DNA and the Beta and the DNA. And she's like, nah. I agree that maybe I'm special, but nah, And so she saves Beta, and then fast forward through all the hand movements. They get out. There's a cool scene with Jeff Goldblum where he saves them, because they're Alan Grant and Ellie are in this underground tunnel thing, whatever. But the whole ending, the best part, what you came to watch this video for, because I'm spoiling it. The ending is the most funniest shit ever, because not only is Jeff Goldblum the best, right? He's the best. He throws a spear, flaming spear, into the mouth of the dinosaur, the Gigantosaurus or whatever. So that was funny. Then when the dinosaur is going around them, when they're in the car, remember in Jurassic Park 1, when they were all the kids were in the truck, and it kept turning it around and pushing it and shit, remember? So they're in the truck, but instead of pushing it, instead of knocking that shit out of the way, it just follows them around it, and then bam, the T-Rex shows up, comes around, rawr, and then they start duking it out, because dinosaur fights, like I say, it's probably meant for kids. And then the dinosaur kills the T-Rex, right? You assume it kills the T-Rex. So you're oh yeah, this is like Jurassic Park 3. The Spinosaurus killed the T-Rex, but did it? And it comes back, of course, and the bird dinosaur shows up, and you're oh no, bird dinosaur. But the bird dinosaur doesn't really do anything. The bird dinosaur kind of stands there, because the T-Rex pushes the Gigantosaurus or whatever, and it just falls on Edward Scissorhand Bird. It just falls on him, and he's like, bah, 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 bah. It's so bad. It's just, oh man, I couldn't. This whole movie was rough, man. I mean, I'm a fan of Jurassic Park, The Lost World, which this was pretty much The Lost World trying to be. And I liked Jurassic Park 3. I was always a fan of it. I didn't really care, but I understood why people didn't dig it. Jurassic World was whatever. Fallen Kingdom didn't like. And, if they make another Jurassic Park movie, it's gonna suck. Guaranteed, it's just gonna be, it's gonna be so lame, and I don't know. It's just done. It's done. Jurassic Park is done. Make the ride better. Add more to the ride. make the ride like literally go underground and make it into a roller coaster or create some crazy shit. Just don't change anything of it. Just like add on to it. Make that whole bottom place like a Jurassic Park ride. Just please don't make any more movies. And if you do, if Hollywood does decide, Universal does decide, please make them not like Fast and the Furious 10, because Dominion was pretty much Fast and the Furious 10 level nonsense. Okay, started out good with cars and a good concept, and everyone loves cars. Now it ended with cars flying around on, you know, what the fuck is this? And the same thing with Jurassic Park. Started off with dinosaurs, cool concept of bringing back life, and now, like, you know, what the fuck is this? So, this has been Ghost and Craig. Thank you so much for watching. I wanted to make this video shorter, but I guess it came out a bit longer than I anticipated. So, thank you for watching. Like, share, subscribe, and you know, if you haven't seen Jurassic World Dominion, check it out. I mean, it's box office smash, so you've probably already seen it. But you know, if you liked it, cool. If you didn't, cool. Like, you know, I mean, leave your response in the comments of what you thought or what your most ridiculous or favorite scenes were, I guess, and you know, we'll see where we go from there. But yeah, thanks you for watching, and peace.